Good morning, everybody. This is Ryan. Welcome back to another episode of Animal Crossing and Chill. It's Monday, August 17th, 5:12 a.m. Hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your week already. First off, I want to apologize for not posting one of these videos last week. I was pretty busy with things like the Crunchy Island race, amongst other things happening in real life as well. So really a lot of the stuff that I've done on this island has primarily been based around what people see on the live stream, which I still was able to do on Tuesday and Thursday of last week, as well as over the weekend. And so for those that are strictly here on YouTube, I apologize that you haven't seen a lot of the progress that we've made. But either way, we're going to go ahead and, try and make up for that this week and let you guys in on what we've been doing. So as you can tell, I am not starting out in front of my home, and that is because of the fact that I wanted to show you guys kind of what we've been working on. So I've moved a good portion of the houses away from where they previously were, which was kind of like this neighborhood section, to the beach. And as you can see here, the entryway to the island has come along quite nicely. We moved the campsite over here to the bottom left-hand corner, and then we did a little bit of terraforming on the right-hand side. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. One thing I did notice, though, was that Red is here. And so I think I might do that this morning as well. Haven't seen Red in about 3 weeks. And so I'm pretty excited to finally go back in and see if he's got anything for us. That way we can put him in our museum. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. So I was finally able to get the shops moved to in front of the Resident Services Center. So the Able Sister store over here to the left is starting to look quite nice with its landscaping. And then kind of the same thing over here. For Nook's Cranny, with Nook's Cranny being a little bit bigger, obviously there's going to be less room for things like designing, at least in my eyes, but we're doing our best with what we have, and we're just kind of designing around it. I also noticed that Ketchup was here this morning. Good morning, Ketchup. Please don't ask me to move out again. So, this whole Cottagecore thing, man, let me tell you, this Cottagecore thing takes up way more time than I had anticipated. I did not expect designing with things like the path and trying to make the island look, natural yet refined. I did not realize it would take that much work. I've been putting a lot of hours into this island since flattening it, and I've only really gotten this bottom left-hand corner completed, and even then it's not really completed. So this is one thing that I really wanted to implement. The one thing I really wanted to do was to have diagonal bridges. I've seen so many great island designs with diagonal bridges, and I really wanted to implement it on my own island. And so the first one that we built leads directly to our little campsite area, which I still need to decorate. Once we move Ketchup's house, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to extend the campsite area down to the beach and have it basically be its own little pocket of, it's like a private beach thing off to the bottom left corner of the island. So really looking forward to having this whole thing done, and we'll just need to move Ketchup's house somewhere, either to the beach or to the upper levels or the upper section of the island. And that's pretty much, I guess, really it. I've done a lot of landscaping. As you can see, I'm really just placing flowers everywhere to kind of get a feel for where I want things placed. Continuing to work with the path and get everything surrounding the Resident Services Center at least. This section here, is going to be either a gigantic lake or it's going to be a place where my house is going to sit. In my previous island iteration, my house was essentially like a mansion that was separated from all of the other villagers and stuff like that. And I kind of wanted to do the same thing as well. But I think the more that I look at it, the more I think about it, the more that I either just want this to be a lake with some sort of island in the middle that isn't used for my house, or maybe even a place for the museum to sit. I'm not quite sure just yet. I get a lot of questions as well. Let's go ahead and head on to Reds while I talk. I get a lot of questions about where I plan on putting my villagers' houses and stuff. If I'm going to continue on with doing things like, a neighborhood section and stuff like that. And at this point, really, I think I've decided I more want to go for the natural looking theme still, in that I want to scatter all the houses around as much as possible. Good morning, Red. Haven't seen you in a while, cousin. Alright, so haven't done this in a long time, but let's take a look here. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. The detailed painting. Alright. Want a closer look. Now, for those that didn't watch previous videos or haven't watched the previous videos where I did these, what I would do essentially is I would look up the actual thing, and then I would compare it to the one that I'm seeing in game and check to see myself if it was real or fake. In this instance, I'm actually just going to go ahead and look them up. Detailed painting, ACNH. Here we go. Here's the guide. Okay. Detailed painting. So in this instance, the fake ones do not have this this little signature, and it also has purple foliage instead of blue foliage, and so this one's real. And it looks like of all the other ones, really, this is probably the one that I would want to have in my museum, like, as soon as possible. And so let's go ahead and just buy this one. Easy peasy. There you go. And honestly, this one, even if I looked up the real thing, I don't know what this is called. Oh, actually, it's called Ajisai Sokaizu. So I would have been able to find it. You know, I don't know if I would have looked up to find the real version of it, but either way, it would have been really easy to spot that it was real because of the fact that you know, it has blue foliage, it has a signature. So there we go. There's red section. So let's go ahead and continue on with working on this whole thing here. And you know, I think I mentioned this in previous videos before. I know that we always talk about how other people's islands feels bigger than yours. Once you flatten everything out, man, it just you really get like a scale for how big your island really is. And you know, I am just at a loss for what to do on certain parts of my island, but that's okay. That's you know, that brings us back to part of the journey of where we were 300 hours ago on this game, which is figuring out what to do and then designing everything from the bottom up. So one thing I know I want to do on this section here is I want to put some more of these cedar trees down. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, still looking up things on Pinterest and Instagram and stuff like that. You know, for a long time, people have told me to take a look at Pinterest for things like inspiration for what to do, and I have to say, I don't use Pinterest normally, and so it wasn't an outlet for inspiration that I'd ever considered. But man, of all of the, I guess of all of the different inspirations, or rather inspiration like websites for design ideas and stuff like that that I could have possibly used, I think Pinterest is the one that I've gathered the most kind of, you know, inspiration on, which is interesting. Like I said, it wasn't one that was essentially on my radar whenever I was looking at how to do this, and so it's definitely been my greatest resource so far. So what I want to do now is I want to move. This is Stitch's house, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay. But yeah, if you guys ever want like input on the island and stuff like that, you know, the way that the Able Sisters has been designed currently was actually input from a lot of people over on Twitch. You know, we do a lot of polls and stuff like that to see what people think. I mean, generally and overall, I still have the be-all, end-all say of how the island ends up looking, but you get a lot of different ideas, and I would love to use some of your ideas as well, if you have any. So, link to the Twitch, as always, is in the description down below. I don't have any money for this. For those that want to watch the process a little bit more on the live side and give input as well, if that was something you guys are interested in. Okay. Or even in the YouTube comment section. You know, if you want to put something in the YouTube comment section even, by all means, go ahead. Alright, so move Stitch's house here. We'll just move it out of the way. Had to drink some water there. Sorry for the quiet. If you ever hear, like, well, I guess if you ever hear not talking or anything like that, it's generally because I'm drinking water, because I am quite thirsty. Alright. Let's move Stitch's house here. Stitch's house. So for a lot of people, you know, this is an easy fix. If I wanted to continue terraforming that little section, the only thing I'd really have to do is really just time travel to tomorrow. I would be able to keep the same, like, hour, but just time travel into the next day. And, you know, I still get this a lot on Twitch as well as YouTube comments as well about the time traveling. You know, I don't plan on time traveling often once this whole process is completed. I'm just going to start putting down weeds while I talk about this. I don't plan on time traveling often, and it was surprising to me how many people were quite disappointed or upset at the fact that I even time traveled in the first place for, like, when I did the villager hunt and stuff like that. That was a pretty extreme example, just because we had someone that was getting to move out anyway, or we had someone that was getting ready to move out anyway, and so I used it as a tool for that, because I'd been wanting to do a villager hunt for a while. But even for this, even now, I will still be using time traveling as a tool to do things like move buildings around faster, because of the fact that, you know, like, when it comes to this, just putting putting Stitch's house somewhere else, I have to still wait for tomorrow in order to continue terraforming that. Now, I don't think I really shouldn't be going this far for this, like, there's really no need, but I don't think I'm going to teleport. God, I cannot speak this morning. I don't think I'm going to time travel this morning for the sake of terraforming that little section. But, you know, just wanted you guys to know that, like, if that ever does happen, you know, don't be surprised if at any point in one of these videos I end up just, like, time traveling to the next day for the sake of designing a certain section. You know, I've had my fill. I've had my fill of the waiting for buildings to be moved and stuff like that, and so now I really just want to do the more focused island designing process of it, and I can't do that if I'm sitting there waiting a whole, you know, at this point, 19 hours for something to move. So there's that. Let me go ahead. So yeah, the idea was to put like a too wide entryway to a little section right here in the middle of this lake. What I think I want to do, though, let me see. I think I could still do that. Let me open this up. Do I go diagonal bridge again? I want to use diagonal bridges as much as possible, and I think I can do that here as well. If I maybe put the diagonal bridge over there and just keep on, like, shrinking this down to size a little bit. I don't think I've seen a lot of these little, like, islands on Cottagecore islands before. And maybe that's just me not, you know, I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen a lot of cottagecore a lot lately, but I don't think I see a lot of people putting little parks and stuff like that in their cottagecore islands. And if they do, you know, I'll just have to look it up and see what people are doing in that regard. Because like I said, I haven't seen it myself. But I think that generally speaking, more of these park type areas are generally more for the refined islands, if that makes any sense. Like the people who do have neighborhood sections and stuff like that on their island. You know, I know that, like I said, at the end of the day, it's my island to do whatever I so choose with it, but I do still, like I mentioned in previous videos, I do still want it to fit some sort of theme. And so if that theme is that, generally speaking, cottagecore islands don't do, you know, parks and stuff like that, then I won't do it as well. Let me see. Alright, so I know I need to round this out here, which means I need to... And this is like where the aesthetic part in me really starts to take place. If I'm gonna round this out, and this might seem silly to a lot of people, but but like for me, I have to do this because I feel like everything needs to be done essentially with purpose here. So I'm gonna round that out, but because I want it to look rounded out, I want people to know that it's rounded out. I am gonna move this tree somewhere else. I've been very precise with the positioning of my trees. I've moved a lot of them that were sitting up here at the front as well, kind of where you would normally see nooks cranny and stuff like that, because of the fact that, you know, I don't want things to obscure anything as you're walking around the island. And so, if there was any chance possible that this tree obscured the fact that this path continues down this way, I didn't want that. And so, I wouldn't put a tree here, for example, because it would block the door to Nook's Cranny, depending on where you stood. So in this case, I think I do like how the lake is kind of looking at this point. What I want to do then is I want to start kind of expanding on the lake itself. And so I'm going to start doing this. And we will simply move this flower away. Oh, what in the world? Oh, is that the hole from the tree? Okay, it is. All right, so in this instance, again, we're going to move the tree because it's blocking this fork in the road design. And this is like, there are a lot of people who are going to be like, well, this is like the most pointless thing ever. What's up, Ketchup? I want you to have my mic stand. Well, thank you very much. Just glad to get it off my hands. Well, thank you for using me as a means to get rid of your trash, Ketchup. I appreciate that. But no, like I said, that might seem silly to a lot of people, but really, I don't know. There's something aesthetically about not being able to see certain things on the island that kind of get to me. And so if you can't see that this fork's in the road, then, you know, it's kind of pointless to have. Ketchup, I was not expecting anybody to be out at 5 a.m. You are quite in the way. Let's see, so I might need to terraform that back out. I mean, I'm definitely going to have to terraform that back out if I'm going to put a path here. There we go, and then I'll just round that out. Perfect, okay. So now what I want to do is I kind of want to start bringing this down, which means that this other one here... Oops, that's the wrong one. This needs to get gone. Okay, and then we'll just put... I guess I can make this one just a little bit wider and then shrink it back down again to kind of bring it back to the natural looking thing. So then we'll put I apologize that I'm not really providing a lot of context to what it is that I'm doing. When I put the path down, essentially, I'm trying not to, you know, one of the things that I've learned learned immensely, is that the right thing? I don't think that's right, but one of the things that I've definitely learned from utilizing the path is when using this particular design, you know, it needs to be, or the best appeal of this is making it look sporadic and without any sort of like how do I put this? I can't, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not supposed to look straight all the time. It's supposed to look like crooked and like people have walked there for years and stuff like that. And so, oops, I was facing the wrong way. And so like this, for example, I could turn into like a little fishing spot if I you know, so chose to do. Which means that there's a part of me that kind of wants to maybe not do anything with that center island there, but and then here I could just put like a flower or something down, and then maybe a couple of weeds surrounding it as well. That's another thing too that I've learned from this whole thing is you know, even though weeds are kind of like, you should really pluck them as much as you can. In this particular theme, the more weeds, the better, and they help fill out the aesthetic of the island. Especially these summer weeds. The summer weeds just look fantastic, and so I'm just going to start placing them around the island here. Hard to believe we've been recording for 22 minutes, but but I really wanted to record today because I really wanted to show those who haven't been able to make the live streams and stuff like that what we've been working on. I feel really bad about, you know, not posting videos and stuff for those that, you know, either can't make the live stream, aren't able to, or you know, simply don't want to use the platform. And so, yeah, let me see. The entryway is probably, you know, it's looking really, really, really good. I can't say that it's like my favorite part of the island because of the fact that I really haven't been doing a lot with it. With the rest of the island, actually, I haven't really been doing a lot for the rest of the island. This has pretty much been it. And so, really, what I'm doing now is essentially I'm just like designing it as much as possible. A lot of my time spent on this island part. I cannot speak this morning. You'll have to forgive me. It's still only 5:30 in the morning. You know, in addition to just putting the path down, I think when it comes to this particular theme, the aesthetics of everything placed around as you move along really defines whether or not that area actually works. And so, the more that I place stuff down, like flowers and stuff like that and weeds, the more that I see whether or not that particular area is actually what I want it to be. There we go. Actually, I want to rotate that out. These log stakes, by the way, are absolutely amazing. I never thought of them as being like that useful, but they are probably not, I wouldn't say they're like the backbone of everything that we're doing here, but they just look so good, and they add so much aesthetic with just, you know, that one little 1x1 tile that they take up. And I think I want to add the other one over here. Oh, that's a mic stand. Oh, nope, that's not right. But yeah, they add so much aesthetic for so little investment. It's crazy. Maybe I don't want to put 2 log stands that close to each other. If anything, I'll just put it like maybe kind of over here. Let's see. Again, I don't want to put the log stand. I don't want to put the log stakes here because the tree is blocking it. So for me, I would want to. Can I just place them diagonally? Nintendo, please. Can I just place stuff diagonally? I think I want to get rid of this, and I'll put it right over here for now. All right. It's a lot of trial and error here, people. A lot of trial and error. Just start putting stuff down and then moving stuff around. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just like with the previous island, I'm trying not to fall in love with any particular design that I make, because the fact that if I want it to go, then, you know, I'm not sitting there thinking of all the time I invested to get it to look right. I never know how many weeds to put out on this particular island theme. think the amount I've placed so far is pretty good. All right, we'll do a quick walkthrough here really quick. I know that I really didn't do much this morning, and I apologize for that. Like I said before, I really just wanted to like show you guys what I've been working on, and then hopefully in future videos later on this week, and then, you know, as we continue to progress here, hopefully, you know, I can do a lot more stuff on these videos as well. I know I need to plant more bushes, and so I think I want to put one here. I'll put a yellow one here. I see a lot of red and orange around this particular shot right there, so I think I want to put a red one there, and then maybe even just one red over here. With it being close to yellow flowers, we'll put down another red hibiscus one here. Cool. Okay, and then I guess I kind of need one over here too. So in this instance, the tree would not be blocking the entirety of the hibiscus or the bush, whatever bush I plan on putting there, and so that is no problem to put it right there. I'll put a yellow one over here, and then if anything, just move that lily somewhere else. Then I could put one down here too, probably right around here. Yeah, I think this'll look really nice. Yep. Things are coming along quite nicely. I still need to move my own house and things like that, but otherwise, we've already been recording now for about 27 minutes, and I'm feeling quite hungry. I basically woke up, was excited to make this video, and essentially started recording, and so I am quite hungry. We'll go ahead and turn this off. Right, and I don't really have a nice place to sit, at least in these areas in particular, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop like right here. That's actually a great shot, just like right there for you know, how the island is turning out. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys spending a little bit of time in the morning, in the afternoon, or whenever you guys use these videos for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing how the island is turning out. I'm really excited to continue on with this cottagecore theme. I think it looks really, really good, and I'll say this over and over again. I'm super glad that I decided to flatten everything down and start working with the path and then going for this more natural looking theme. I think it more fits with how I wanted my island to end up looking once it was done. And so we'll sink another 400 hours into this design and see where it takes us. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it very much. If you're new to the channel and new to the series and want more videos like this in your feed in the future, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you like the video, be sure to drop a like as well as leave a comment as well. That's always helpful. Thank you guys so much again for watching. I appreciate it very much. And until next time, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.